So I'm back, YouTube. It's definitely been a while since my last video, for sure. But what better way to start 2025 than tell you all of my favorite books, kind of like a little awards season, but better because they're all from my opinion. That was a joke. But yeah, I want to talk about all of my favorite books from 2024 and why I think you should read them. So please enjoy. So it looks like, according to Goodreads, I read 320 books in the year of 2024. That is also like give or take a few that I wasn't able to log or that were kind of like secret projects from authors that I'm working with. So let's just say 320 plus books I read last year. And yeah, this is going to be a culmination of all of my favorite books, kind of by trope or genre. But these books are really, really special. They definitely got me through the hardest year of my life, whether it be by giving me, you know, some really good laughs, some really good romance, a really good adventure, what have you. But yeah, I have quite the list here behind me as like some of the biggest stacks of books. So grab a snack, grab a little cafecito, and we're just going to talk about books. So I hope y'all are ready. All right, so starting us off, my favorite magical realism book is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. A girl who's driving alone, her car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, but she finds herself in the fictional small town of her favorite book series, and it is possible there is a very sexy yet grumpy, you know, mysterious bookstore owner who does not want her there. This book actually had me crying, not even crying, sobbing, around 3 a.m. And I don't cry very easily with books, but oh my God. This was so romantic, so sad, so heartbreaking, and so bittersweet. There were just so many emotions, and I think, honestly, with just my mental health, I was like, gone. I was a wreck after this book, but it was so beautifully written. Like, just so many of the themes that are discussed in this book, gorgeous, beautiful, again, bittersweet, heartbreaking, but like, it breaks your heart and makes you think, but also wraps it up nicely in a little bow, and it was just a beautiful story. So absolutely recommend this. This cover is a little crazy, so I'm gonna cover it up because I don't know if YouTube's gonna have like the same kind of protections, I guess, that like TikTok or Instagram would have. So I'm gonna try and cover as best as I can. But Keepsake by Amy Oliveira is going to be like my favorite Guardian romance, but also my favorite age gap romance. And I know this cover is pretty spicy, but this girl becomes the guardian for her late best friend's kids, and essentially her best friend's brother, who was older than them, a former MMA fighter, is going to help her in her guardianship and raising the kids. This book is literally so hot. And honestly, this man, oh wait, I hope I covered all the biddies. Sorry. This man, oh my God. That's all I gotta say. This one is gonna count for like my favorite best friend's brother, but also like brother's best friend, because like they're just such a close little like friend, like family friend group kind of deal. But it's The Spare by Ava Ronny. If you love billionaires, they all got money, especially her. She's a very smart woman. But it is possible that she's had these feelings for her brother's best friend / best friend's brother. And you know, she hasn't seen him in about 2 years. He's finally back in town, and oh my God, the tension is so yummy. And also, this man is so down bad for her. When it will be my turn, I would love to know. Okay, so this one is gonna be 100% like brother's best friend, but it's Before We Came by Sloane St. James. This one's also hockey romance, right? But this girl like has a funeral for her mom, then very like soon after finds out that her mom is not actually her mom, just the woman who kidnapped her when she was a child. So she's trying to find like her real family, goes and like finds them, right? And decides like that the night before she's gonna go meet them. She's gonna go to a bar, kind of like relax, try to like figure out what she's gonna say when she finds them and talks to them and everything. Meets this very sexy stranger, has a little one night fun with him, and then goes, finds her family, talks with them, and lo and behold, the one night fun, you know, stranger that was from the night before was her, you know, brother's best friend, a hockey player also. This book was so hot, and it also has a little bit like roommates to lover situation, because he like offers a room in his penthouse for her to stay at with him while the paparazzi and everything, like all these news outlets are trying to tell her story. But also like, I feel like this is probably a little bit more of like the emotional of the book in the series. But oh my God, no, so good. My favorite friends with benefits romance. Specifically because he's so down bad for her, but also there is a scene, it is possible he is willing to share her with his best friend / roommate. This book had me like giggling, kicking my feet. It had me fanning. I was reading this on a plane, hoping that my seatmate was not reading my Kindle. So I literally was like trying to like hold it and also put the brightness down so low so that possibly like they couldn't read it. I don't know. But this book was hot as hell. And I will say this a million times over, Nikki deserves all the forehead kisses in the world because oh my God. I'm an enemies to lovers girly through and through, okay? But they have to be actual enemies, not like, oh my God, I heard him say he didn't like my shoes, or like, oh, he said my favorite color was ugly. Like, I don't want to, like, there better be hatred. I want to see hatred. For outside of the fantasy genre, I gotta say that this book was absolutely so well done because they absolutely do despise each other. Like, the things that they say to each other, like, just the things that they do to each other, like, oh my God, that's why when the tension finally breaks, you're like, oh my God, I said like, I don't even know how many times. But let me tell you, this man has me in a tizzy, and that's why I cannot speak English properly. There's also a little bit of like a roommate situation because she needs somewhere to stay for a couple weeks, and her best friend, who is his roommate, is like, I have a business trip. You're gonna stay, you know, in my room until your new apartment's ready. And she does. She does. The tension was so delicious. And this man knows what he's doing. I want him to love me. I loved this book so much, I read it twice in 2024. My favorite sports romance, The Problem with Players by Brittany Cherry. This one's also a little bit of a second chance romance, right? They break up when they're really young because he has dreams of becoming a professional baseball player. He comes back to their small town, then becomes her assistant coach for the high school baseball team. It is possible there's a little bit of a roommate situation because her wedding gets canceled and she needs somewhere to live for a little bit. And of course, who offers her, you know, a second bedroom? This man was so down bad, loved her so beautifully. It had so much heart, like very just good depictions of depression. It felt very authentic, very realistic, just very honest. And this man just loved her so deeply and so well. I cannot recommend this book more. Favorite historical romance, Aphrodite and the Duke. This was a cute one, right? Like, they were in love with each other in their youth. She thinks that he's about to propose and then finds out that he married someone else. And years have passed. She's still not married, right? She's still on the marriage mart. Her parents are like, you gotta get married. Like, she has so much societal pressure. And of course, he comes back and his wife has just died. And she's just like, what the hell are you doing here? But so it is like a second chance romance, right? But oh my gosh, I can't even like talk too much about it because like I don't want to give anything away. But it was so well done. I love historical romance. I also think anyone who likes romantasy will definitely love historical romance. But this book was just so good. And there also is like some romantic suspense in there. So I probably want to say also like my favorite romantic suspense is Will, because there's just so much kind of going on in this book that was so well done. Yeah, I don't know. Oh my God, the drama, the angst, the pining, like my little heart was living it up. So yes, loved this one. My favorite second chance romance. This is also, I want to say like a retelling of like Sweet Home Alabama. And there's another one I want to say, but I cannot remember it for the life of me right now. But this book was so beautiful. They'd been in love with each other. You know, he comes back like, I would think it's like 5 or 7 years later, and he's trying to win her back. Again, I can't give away too much with this book, but you know, like, he is not willing to take no for an answer. He's like, I am back. I have my shit together. I still love you. And again, this is another book that also has like really good depictions of depression that feels very authentic and real. Just very honest conversations about like loss and grief and just so many things, like even just grief of a relationship. But there's just so many layers to this book. It was absolutely beautiful. It had me tearing up. I don't know who I was, but beautiful book. Oh my gosh, I was rooting for them the whole time. Like, I love them. Your Honor, I love them. So this is my favorite marriage of convenience book, but also, like, if you wanted to have a category for, like, a Vegas wedding, this would be also, like, the headliner for it. But basically, she's an athletic trainer. He's a player on the team. He's had a crush on her for 3 years. He finally figures out and discovers that she's single now. And it's just so cute. Like, he has been pining for this girl for so long, waiting for his chance. They get, you know, accidentally married in Vegas, whatever. And basically to save her job and to save her reputation and, you know, just to make sure, right, that she still has, you know, a way to work. And especially because she's trying to get another job, he's like, I will do whatever it takes to help you. I do not mind being married to you. But secretly, he's like, this is my chance. So cute. Like, you just see him slowly break down her walls, and it is so, like, Liz Tom 40 knows how to write a man who can pine and yearn. Like, he has been waiting for his chance. And when he finally has it, oh baby, he does not let that opportunity pass him up, okay? I love this one so much. But it was just so sweet, so cute, so hot. If you haven't read this book, I don't know where you've been. My favorite, like, single dad nanny romance. I want to say just nanny romance in general, right? But this one was so good. This girl also is named Isabella. I wish I was this Isabella because hot damn. It's also a baseball romance, okay? They're also kind of like family friends, but it's so cute. I'm not usually someone who really likes kids or babies in books, right? Like, in real life, they kind of terrify me. I'm like, I'm not ready for that chapter. I'm not very maternal. I'm like, ugh, keep it over there. But this book was so cute. Like, Millie, oh my God, this man was so in love with her, was like so obsessed with her. Like, just for an example, he discovers that it's possible she's on a date and he's like, absolutely not, and goes and crashes it. And the mouth on this man, if a man spoke to me the way that he did, I would be a puddle on the floor immediately. I would crumble. I would fold like a chair. I just want to know what it's going to take for me to be loved like this, you know? I'm going to ask my therapist about it later. My favorite, you know, like, arranged marriage romance. This is also kind of like a retelling of, like, King Arthur and everything. It is so well done. Basically, in order to save her family's company, she has to marry someone. She's not a fan of this man. She's like, I don't want to even be married, whatever. And he's so in love with her, and he's, like, so down bad for her. I was like biting my fist. I was like, girl, stop fighting him. Just give in. I have no self-control. I have no shame. I would have been like, yep. Yep. This was so hot. It's also a great series. I still have to read book 3, but this was sexy too. And honestly, if I was being forced into marry this man, I don't think I would have put up that much of a fight, to be honest. And if you read it, I think you'd understand why. This is a great dark romance, but this was my favorite boss-employee romance. It's also a little marriage of convenience as well. Like, she needs $5 million. He needs a fake wife. She works at his law firm. And it also just has, oh my God, like, romantic suspense. Like, there's just so much. Like, it's a kind of organized crime adjacent kind of romance because he's not directly involved in it, but a lot of his clients are. And she also finds out that she has links to, like, the Yakuza. So good. And it was so hot. It was so, like, ugh. It was so obscene and nasty, and I loved it. And it's also kind of around, like, a sex club. There's so much going on in this book, but I really don't read male authors very often, but I will read everything that Jagger Cole writes, 1000%. This book was just so good. And like, just the way that he's like, I'm not gonna be obsessed with her, but he secretly is obsessed with her, and he like, he just, even their spicy scenes. I don't want to give away too much, but this book, it was so good. Take Me Away. This is my favorite cowboy romance of 2024. Also is a small town romance, a little bit of like enemies to lovers because they do not get off on the right foot. They just don't have a good relationship, right? And he's also like a rising country music star. So if you like that aspect of like a little bit of like a celebrity status, or like she's like a fan of his and then meets him and is like, oh my God, he's the worst. It's just so good. She's like trying to get a fresh start in this small town. He's also kind of like recovering from some things and trying to like lay low for a while as he figures out his next move. but so good, so cute, so hot. Hannah, oh my gosh, this series, honestly, I do love it, but this one might be my favorite. I don't know. I just think their relationship was just so like fun to like watch unfold. But yeah, no, it was so cute. Oh my gosh. The award for my favorite fantasy book is actually gonna be, you know, this series right here. Trial of the Sun Queen. If you like fantasy books, you also like perhaps The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. You love a girly who is gonna share her opinion and is very strong-minded. Absolutely love that for her. A little bit of Hunger Games as well, right? Because she has to compete in order to win the hand of the king. And these trials are not easy. They are very deadly. People do die. But oh my God. No, this series is so good, so well done. Book 4 has me in a chokehold right this moment. I'm including the whole series. I don't care. It's my rule, so I'm gonna do what I want. But yeah, absolutely. My favorite fantasy series, Nisha girl. I literally did not sleep at all while reading these first 3. I read these 3 books in 2 days. I had eye bags that were so big, they could have been a Birkin. Like, what? No, they were so good. And like, I can't give away too much, but holy shit, these books are amazing. Like, and then there's enemies to lovers, there's adventure, there's like an epic kind of just, oh, I can't even tell y'all, but like, holy shit. That's all I can say, holy shit, read it. My favorite billionaire romance, Our Little Secret by QV Tyler. They meet, have a little one-night fun, and then she soon discovers that he is her new boss. I love when that happens. He's also married, so she discovers that he had a little one-night fun with her while married, wearing someone else's ring. So a little bit on the taboo side, but like, I'm not for cheating. I'm not even gonna say but. I'm not for cheating, but this man is forgiven. My favorite fake dating romance, Playbook by Rebecca Jenshak. Honestly, this one was really cute. It was really funny, like super rom-com-y little vibes. But yeah, they are accidentally kind of like pen pals also because she keeps getting all of like his fan mail and a little bit of a sports romance, right? He's a football player, very successful, very big name, and they have to pretend to date. And he defends her too. Like there's like an entire scene where like her family is just giving her so much shit, and the way he stands up for her was so hot. I literally was like, oh my God, I would have given in so hard, folded. Like, there's no way. But this girl, I was living very vicariously through her. Very vicariously through her. My favorite, Grumpy Sunshine. This is also like a nanny, single dad romance, also a hockey romance. But this was hot as hell. If you love some spicy lessons, this is your book. This man was a freak in the best way. And I was like, yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Love it. Like, she's very sunshiny, very cutesy, little kindergarten teacher. He is a grumpy goalie, like, really does not have a lot to say, but this man had a lot to do. And I was loving it. I ate it up. Candy knows what she's doing. Candy has not failed me once. My favorite organized crime romance. Again, I love Jagger Cole. I love his books. This was super dark, super spicy, super just a wild fun time. They're also being forced into marrying each other because both of their rival families, like, in order to kind of like have a little peace treaty, essentially are gonna marry, you know, them off to each other, and they despise each other, which makes everything so much hotter. Also, this man, if anyone has his number, please let me know. But no, this book was absolutely so hot. It was so good. Again, he does a lot of like romantic suspense also in his books as well that I feel like is really well done. But this book was hot. It was sexy. It was fun. It was wild. I love organized crime romances, but this one, honestly, this whole series was amazing. But like, to start it off, you have to start with this one. Incredible. Chef's kiss. My favorite dark romance was Marriage and Malice by Trisha Wolfe. It is possible that she is, you know, a little mafia princess, is living like her own life, and then she's abducted against her will. I mean, that's usually what abduction is. Anyway. Anywho, but basically is abducted, and is kind of being forced into marrying this like rival family who has some has some dirt on her dad, and her dad's kind of like, well, in order to save myself, yeah, you're gonna marry my daughter. Sure, take her. And so there's so much hatred in this book, but it was so hot. The way he talks to her, also he's an Irishman, so you know that audiobook hit. It hits so good. Yeah, no, I love this book. This series, honestly, great. This is book 2, but I think this one was my favorite of the 2 so far. And oh my God, I honestly would not have a problem if that man took me. My favorite very demure of me. Favorite serial killer romance. I almost said serial unaliver at the same time. This is not TikTok, this is YouTube, and I can say what I want. I think. I don't know. Anywho, favorite serial killer romance. Okay, they work in the same, you know, like department of this like university, and he soon discovers they are a lot more closely linked than he thought. He kind of just thinks that she's like an annoying kind of coworker. He doesn't really like her. He does think that she's very sexy though. And yeah, it is possible that they know each other from the past, and he's about to find out how. This book was so good. If you also love like Criminal Minds, or you just love dark romance in general, this book was so well done, but it was also very hot. It was very spicy. It was very spicy. And I just gotta say, I loved every second. It's like probably one of my favorite books of 2024 for sure, but holy shit, it was incredible. So yeah, highly recommend, read it. I mean, I love both of these authors so much, so like obviously I was gonna love this one, but yes, absolutely 1000%. You need to read this as soon as possible. We have 5 more books. 5 more. I hope y'all are ready. Also, I am aware that this straw is upside down, but I was too lazy to do it the right way this morning, so cheers. My favorite Friends to Lovers, Marriage and Mosty. This was so cute. He's also a billionaire. Like, they also accidentally get married in this like religious ceremony because they're a little tipsy. They're a little tipsy. So yeah, no, this was absolutely beautiful. I love Anisha. Oh my God. She is one of my favorite authors. She's like such a cool human being. Adore her so much, but this was so good. And the way he spoke to her, there is a balcony scene. There is a balcony scene. This is also like a retelling of like a Shakespeare play. So if you really love those, her entire If Shakespeare Were an Auntie series, like all of them are retellings of Shakespeare plays. But this one, I think, honestly, is my favorite of the 3. I love every single one of them. But this one was so hot. And the mutual pine, and oh my God. Like, you just wanted to like giggle, kick your feet. It was so cute, so hot. But yeah, then they have to like pretend that they're in love with each other for, you know, mutual like business interests to kind of help both of their careers. And let me tell you, this man is like, I'm going to keep her for real. Like, I need to keep her for real. And she's been in love with him forever. So the mutual pining hits so effing hard. I'm not even kidding. Love these. Favorite retelling, Sex, Lies, and Sensibility by the Queen, Nikki Payne. Let me tell you, I love Jane Austen, but I especially love that Nikki Payne is doing like these contemporary retellings of her books. This one obviously is like Sense and Sensibility. It was so hot. The way that this man was so obsessed with her from like the first meeting, and his inner dialogue was so, he was so sexy. And just the things he would say to her. When they go camping, if y'all ever get to like that part of this book, no, it was so good, so cute. You know, this romance, like you literally are like squealing. It was just so sweet. I love that she also writes very diverse characters and like relationships, right? She really takes on the retellings and makes them contemporary, but also makes them like so much more, I feel like, just emotional. And Nikki just has such a gift. Like, I adore her. I think she's one of the coolest human beings in the world. I love her. I love her so much. Nikki Payne for president, honestly. But no, this book was so, so gorgeous, stunning, amazing, incredible. I could go on, but oh, I love this one. My favorite celebrity romance, yes. She is a country music star. She's trying to, you know, come work with this producer from Wild Love, which is book 1 in this series, and has to stay with this very sexy single daddy who happens to live on the property next door to that producer. And yeah, did I mention he's a single daddy? He is. Again, I don't usually like kids, but I would be a stepmother very quickly. This book also was so sweet, the way he's like trying to like build up like her independence, and he like wants to be so supportive of her and like wants her to succeed. and he's like willing to like help her stand on her own 2 feet. Why was that so hot? I don't know, but oh my gosh, also look at this edition of this. You could not snatch this out of my cold dead hands, let me be honest. I would rise up and haunt your ass if you tried to take this from me. But I love Elsie's Rotten. It was just so romantic, but also just the conversations I think that romance books allow us to have. It's just such a beautiful thing. And this one was no exception, right? But oh my God, like it was also so hot. Like the way that this man on the hood of his car, I can't. I'm gonna spoil it. Please read it. My favorite accidental pregnancy. This was so cute. They meet on spring break, right? They decide to like fake date for like 3 days of the time that they're together. She goes home, finds out she's pregnant, has no way of contacting this man, has no way to let him know that she is pregnant with his baby and is gonna have it. And then fast forward a couple of years, they find themselves at the same university where he is a like top college basketball player, and they meet and she's like, so by the way, remember that spring break? We have a baby. We have a child. Let me tell you, again, I'm not a kid person. I'm not a baby person, but this book was so sweet and it was just, it was like a hug in a book and it was so adorable and I just, I wanted to cry. But it was so well done, super cute, like the romance, like the way that they find their like way back to each other, just adorable. And again, like a sports romance, kind of a second chance romance, adorable. My favorite, Rivals to Lovers. This is also like a Christmas like novella. But this man is so damn bad for her. They have to fake date also, so if you love fake dating, especially during the holidays, all the little romantic things during Christmas, I wouldn't know, I've been single my whole life. But they were childhood like rivals. She's like, he's the bane of my existence, I can't stand him. Finds herself in a situation where she needs to pretend that she has a boyfriend. Of course, this very sexy man that she despises is right there, and she's like, that's gonna be my fake boyfriend for the season. And this was so sexy. The things that this man did to her. But also, it was just so cute because she's had no idea that the entire time that they've known each other, he's been in love with her. So cute. Oh my God. Especially if you don't mind that it's Christmas, I mean, read it. But if you want to wait for next season, this better be the first holiday book that you read because it was so romantic. The things that he would do for her, like... It's getting really hard to want to date real men because I fear I'm never gonna know what it's like to have a man like this love me. My favorite small town romance. It's also a little bit of like a brother's best friend / second chance romance. I had a secret relationship in the past. It does not end well. She moves away. It's been like 4 years. She's a dancer at a spicy club, you know, and then finds out that the bachelor party that she's dancing for is actually her ex-boyfriend's. He's the groom. And then her brother's in the room and he's like, is this where you've been for the past 4 years? What the hell? And it is possible that those feelings from that relationship, you know, 4 years ago have not gone away. Yeah, and he definitely is is engaged to someone else. But it is set in a small town. If you also just like loved like a tattooed MMC, right? They also own like a tattoo shop. She has to go and like work for him. This was so cute. It was so good. I love Holly Renee. Again, another amazing human being. Honestly, all these authors are incredible. And also she has like the prettiest book covers. I adore her. And finally, my favorite forbidden romance. He is a hockey player who has found himself in a little bit of a scandal. Finds that his new lawyer is actually his like childhood friend. They used to play hockey together on like a youth team. And she is his attorney, which makes it even hotter because you're not really supposed to be having, you know, a sexual relationship with your client. But it's okay because they can't kiss. They can do anything else, but they can't kiss. This was so good. Also, again, like if you love hockey romances, 1000% you have to read it. This was so cute, so funny. And he's like obsessed with her. And also she's like, you can't kiss me. And he's like, okay, that's fine. I'm willing to take the scraps of you. What do I have to do? But no, this was so good. It was very spicy. It's a little lengthy, but she's a spicy girl. She's thick for a good reason. So I hope this one's on your TBR. So yeah, those are all kind of like my favorites of 2024. A little bit by trope and everything. But let me know in the comments if y'all have read any of these, if there are any books I should add for my 2025 TBR, if there are any that you're looking forward to reading. I hope, you know, at least this helps if you were considering reading any of these. I think they were all so well written. They were just all so good, you know? I think if you want to kick your feet, you want to giggle, you want to blush, like you want to smile, you want to fall in love, like I think all of these books have amazing qualities. Like they're the best form of escapism. I know for me, reading is always going to be like my safe spot, my little happy place. No, but these books were incredible. So I hope you absolutely love them. I hope it helps if you want to read any of them. And per usual, my TBR is absolutely stacked. So I'm going to get back to reading, and hopefully I'll be able to post some more YouTube videos for y'all soon. I promise. I'm trying to get back into it. I promise. But yeah, I will see y'all so soon.